Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And I have a little bit of a fun, I think, live video today. We're going to create a scrapbooking layout. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to share this video into my groups, and then we'll get started. So I'm not sure who watched my live last week, but I took some paper, the Serene Love paper from the Designer Series special release, and I did some coloring, right? I created these 2 cards, live last week, and they were in my newsletter, and they're posted up on my blog and all of those fun things. But so I thought today we would take a different paper pack and create a scrapbooking layout. So just let me get us going here. Share it into all the right places. And then we'll get started. So for whoever has not seen like the flyer or the promotional information, photos, etc. So there is a scrapbooking page here, and we're going to use that as our inspiration for today, but we're going to add some different things, go in a little bit of a different direction. We're going to add some more photos and all of those fun things, because one photo is typically not enough on a scrapbooking page for me. But let's just get started here. I have one more place to share this, and then we're off to the races, so they say. Hey, Leanne. So if you comment live and I don't see it instantaneously, it is because it's a little bit difficult these days. And there is always a lag with Facebook, YouTube. So I'm actually streaming into Facebook and my group and YouTube at the moment. So you can watch it as a live, any of those spots. I do typically try and do all of those spots when I do something live. And so here is a little bit of my message today. When you see, I think that lots of times when I see a new product and I think, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Lots of people ask me, like, where do you gather your inspiration? All of those kind of questions. I want to say that for me, a lot of it comes from simply starting to play with the product. So, as you know, right, I design workshops. Not all products am I going to design workshops for, but by playing with different products, you learn different things, can figure out different ways to use them, all of those fun things. So, like I said, I'd never actually colored on DSP before, but by playing with it, trying it, I was able to have some fun. I got tons of inspiration. I really enjoyed playing with the papers. As I said during this video, I actually think these images are the perfect size for scrapbooking layout. That's not what we're doing today because I'm playing with other paper pack. But you could very easily take the inspiration from, oh my goodness. Okay, so everything is also backwards for me, right? So just remember that. But you could very easily take the inspiration from these cards and turn them into a 12 by 12 scrapbooking page, right? Like I think I even talked about it when I was creating them. The floral images cut out are like the perfect size to go beside a title. They could be used in a border down the side of a scrapbooking page. So just because you might not originally think that way, you might think it's just, oh, it's just for cards. aspect ratio of the paper sometimes is more suited to cards or scrapbooking layouts. And so lots of times I try my best to kind of make you see outside of that box or what you think something should be for. I'm not sure if that made any sense, but that's what we're going with today. So like I said, we're going to start with the inspiration from the promotional photograph. So let me just add my desk in here. Oh, these are my cards. They're upside down now. I think we need to turn on some more light. It is very dark today. Holy smokes. So we've got some stuff coming off the other side. So there will be like a recipe for the layout in my weekly newsletter. So you can find the details. I pinned that comment if you are not on my newsletter list and would like to be. But it's basically www.chrisscreativelife.com/newsletter. We don't go crazy with like super long URLs if I can absolutely help it. So, like I said, here's just a close-up of the cards that I made last week. And I'm waiting for somebody to turn them into a scrapbooking layout, just saying. Okay, so here's our little bit of inspiration. Like I said, that's just kind of where it started. And you're going to see where we're going to go from there. Okay, so if you have not see, I've got a little pile of stuff and another little pile of stuff. I have some stamps. So I actually am pulling in some of the products also from Sale-A-Bration. So if you do not know about Sale-A-Bration yet and want to know more details, basically at a certain level, then you get to add free stuff to your cart. Who doesn't love free stuff? So we're going to use some free stuff today too. But I'm going to show you the papers. This is the Refreshed Beauty. Names are still hard for me. I know they're so bright and colorful. And I'm going to say I was a little bit intimidated before I started, but I actually think it's going to turn out super cute. So there are, we'll look at the different papers here. Are there only 4 prints or are there more than that? So this is one side of the paper, and then you're going to be surprised because this is the other side, right? So you've got like the super bright greens and yellow, but then on the other side, a super usable print that's in the pink, right? So like the Flirty Flamingo family, right? So huge contrast difference, right? And then let's do this one too. So this side, right, is this tone on tone floral image. And then this is the back side, right? So this thistle-y looking plant on like an orangey background, right? So like I said, what you're going to see, we're going to take it and we're going to tone it down a little bit. So then this one is this piece here. And then the back side is just like that green with a little, like it looks like baby's breath almost. I'm not good on my plants. You're not tuning in here to learn about plants from me. That is for sure. And then this one is super neat, right? So Stampin' Up! Does lots of those large images on each of the border sides of the pieces of paper. And then this is the back side, which is this super rich, there's acorns and oak leaves on it. And like I said, if I quote a leaf or a flower incorrectly, don't, I'm not, like I said, I'm not, that is not in my wheelhouse. Okay, so then this, these are the 2 sets of paper I did not use. But this one has like the birds, and then on the back side is this green. You could totally swap out these papers with the layout we're going to create because we're not going to use a ton of it. And I think you're going to find that like the pattern that we create is very user friendly for other things. So then there's this green and then oranges. So like I said, also all at once, they might be a little bit too much, but we're going to take them, we're going to tone them down, we're going to chop them up, and we are going to, I think, create a cute page. Okay, so I'll move that to the side. So here we go. Like I said, I did a few things beforehand to figure some things out and have some fun. So, and I'm going to do 2 photos. I actually think they have quite a small photo in the promotional artwork, and that's just not going to be enough for me. So I'm going to use one 6x4, and it's matted with pecan pie. So it's like 6 1/4, right, by 4 1/4. And we're going to put another photo that's 4x4, same matting around it. So then these are some of the fun things that they did that we are going to recreate. Okay, so we're going to take the same papers that they used in the artwork. We are going to add them in here, like so. I think that all of my, hey Kim, I think that all of my pieces of paper are larger than anything that they have on their piece of artwork. Also, so there will be measurements that the measurements that I picked and used on in my newsletter this weekend. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going to do here. I might angle some of these off just a little bit or tuck some behind. Okay, so let's get creating. And like I said, if you're ever having like a super hard time jump starting something, always go to something that you know is aesthetically pleasing, right? So Stampin' Up! Artists, right? They produce lots of artwork, lots of images, right? There's catalogs, there's promotional things. Find things that you know that you're attracted to and use those as like your jumping off points kind of thing. So, right, like the parts that I liked about this was I loved like the vertical stripes, the focal image, which we're going to create. I'm going to swap this up quite a bit, and we're going to see how I have incorporated some of the Sale-A-Bration items. But so I'm picking and choosing the things out of the layout that I like, right? So I'm going to start with this one. And like I said, you could totally see how long I made it sitting down. Not very long. You could make this brighter. You could use the same concept with kind of any papers. It doesn't have to be these ones, but because they are on promotion right now, I thought I would play with them. They're 12 by 12. Okay, and then you can kind of decide. So I didn't do them all the same length. As you can see, I might decide to trim a little bit more off of this one. Okay. So, and like I said, I do not think my measurements are even close to theirs. I think that I'm using Seal today, not Seal Plus. But I could. I do have both of them. It kind of depends. Sometimes I run out of one and then we have to use the other. I just want to, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to give you guys some measurements later, I want to make sure that I have kind of a close, okay. I still have old adhesive too that I need to use up. Okay, and there is, so there's direction to some of these papers. So I'm also just being conscious of that. You can overlap them however you would like. Some can go on top, some can go on the bottom. You can tuck them, rearrange them. This is a great thing for like using up some scraps, right? I am going to trim this like extra piece off here. And I have approximately the same border at the top as the bottom. Kim says, thanks. I'm watching too to see how many times you have to push it along or struggle with these as new to me tape runners. Okay, so that is something I will talk about. So it takes a while to get used to a new tape runner, right? Because you've been using a tape runner for a really long time. I think that it becomes second nature as to how to use it. So it almost just takes time to get the feel. I don't know if that makes sense. The feel of the tape runner. Okay. So now I'm going to show you where we're going to pull all sorts of things from, because I've got a lot of things all around me, and I just want you to know where they came from. So in the promotional picture, right, they used lots of ephemera. So I'm going to use some ephemera that they used and then some new ephemera from the new mini catalog. But I've got stuff from Something for Everything. I've got labels and layers. I've got Saying Something ephemera pack. And then the other one that I have is, these are the new ones from the new mini. And so I needed a tag. I wanted something to like house my title. So I used the washes and florals tags. And so we're going to use this nice big tag here. I just have all the ones from the mini in one. Those other ones had 2 packages in them. So, because those ones are from the annual, right? So they're good all year. So I actually have more than one set of them. So, but this is the one we're going to use from the new book. I'm going to pop out, because see, I wanted something with some substance. We're going to add that down here. And this is going to be the home for our title. I'm going to use some linen thread. I'm going to tie it on my tag right away, and then we'll tuck it in some spots. And then I wanted a fun title. So this is part of the Sale-A-Bration selection. So this is documenting the day. And so I think I'm going to do, I did do a fun little technique with it. And we're going to use the Starstruck embossing folder, but obviously you can use any embossing folder for this. So that's where our title is going to come from. And then I grabbed all the little pieces of ephemera that they use, and we're going to tuck them in and spread them out over our 2 photographs here. And I love that, actually I might even cut this. So if you're not going to see part of it and you want to expand the use, right, you can cut things up so you can use them in different spots. So I am going to actually cut this in half. And We're going to use some over here and some over here. Okay, and then the other thing is, in all my spots, I want to kind of bring in the colors. So we have this frame that we're going to add up here, and I can also actually cut this frame up. So I can either use the other half on another project or on here still, depending on whether we need some of that color somewhere else. And I actually might put it over here because I want the darker color to pop off of the lighter color underneath. Okay, so they have some cactuses. We're going to add our cactuses. This is going to get tucked underneath. I could actually, if I need to, cut that up too. So like on the tape runner thing, so it will become like muscle memory, right? Like it's from doing things a lot of times that you just get so used to something. So that's going to go like that. We've got some florals we're going to add down here. This I am for sure going to cut up. And this is going to give this little cluster its starting point. And that cluster a starting point. We're going to do some layers and tucking. So some underneath and some on top. I'll pull out some dimensionals in a second. I just kind of want to get a few things set down here. So we have a little tag. I'm also going to add some thread on there. Okay, this one, I need to think about how I want to cut that up. So some of these things are the same things. So Kim said, mine keeps sliding left off the edge of the roller. So, because I think that your common tendency is to pull it probably sideways. I don't actually find that that happens. Maybe a little bit. And I do, because it's a continuous tape, you have to kind of break the seal, right? But also, if you're more used to, if you used this close to my heart tape runner, Seal Plus is more like this, right? Oh no, this is the dotted one. I'm thinking of the other one. There was one that had the little lines. I would say it's kind of like Tombow, but it almost sticks more. The seal, like the seal sticks more than the Tombow, but the consistency is similar. Not sure if that just made sense, but that's how I feel about the seal. Okay, so we're going to do this one up here, and we're going to kind of tuck it so that it sandwiches the two there. Okay, so I'm super excited about our title. So we are going to have a title. So these are the pieces of the ephemera that I have grabbed. This is, like I said, this one's from the new set. And these, so some of the pieces are the same. Some of the pieces are not the same. So I wanted it to say a perfect day. So I stamped the day, which is a large stamp, and I was actually surprised. They're connected together so that you can stamp them in a straight line, but you can also then fussy cut them out. So when I was playing with them, I stamped them in different colors, and then I wanted to add a little bit of texture to them, and you probably can't see it on camera. But I have a couple of different colors, and I think I'm going to use these ones. So this is the Flirty Flamingo, but I did actually stamp it in Daffodil Delight, right? Like I pulled out the colors that matched. So there was Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo. These are the inks. So there are Flirty Flamingo, Peach Pie, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Pecan Pie. So I did try Pecan Pie, but I think that was because I wanted to kind of bring in this color, but I think I did that with the tag and the mats. I wanted more of that color on the layout. So I decided not to do that one. And then the yellow, I think I have enough yellow. So I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo, and because I think it kind of draws everything in, right? And it kind of makes your eye go around the layout more. So I stamped them with Flirty Flamingo. This is obviously the Daffodil Delight. And then I took the embossing folder. This is also one of those celebration items. It's super fun, right? Because it actually kind of reminded me of like this paper and like a starburst and all of those fun things. And then I just put my stamped piece in my embossing folder, ran it through the machine, and I've embossed now my title. And then I just literally fussy cut out my letters. And so it just added another, you can see it, I think there. It just added another texture onto my layout. These letters are super easy to fussy cut out. I've added some dimension behind them. Like they're super easy to fussy cut out. And I thought that like the little bit of embossing kind of just made them look a little bit different. So that's what I did with our letters. Okay. So let's add some thread to our tags, and then I think I can start adhering things down. Yes, it's fun, right? And you can totally see it, I think, on camera too. And it is, I'll take photos, right, and I'll upload them. Okay, so I need to stamp on here. I think we're going to do, so this is where I think I'm going to bring the pecan pie in on this tag. And it's going to say a perfect day. I got so much stuff around me, guys. And we've got our thread. I just don't want to forget to stamp this. And it will fit. I kind of just checked to see if it would fit. I am just going to, I think, put something under here because my desk is all wonky and my glass mat is in the other room because it's got other projects on it. Okay, and I just need to decide. I think we're going to do it this way, actually. It's going to do it the other way. I should probably test it, but we're going to go crazy and we're just going to stamp it. You know me, wild and crazy. So I like that. So now we have our little title section. It's got texture, all of those fun things. So now all we need to do is basically put everything together. I don't think I need that again. So I'll put extra twine on my tags and then I'll cut it back once I'm all finished. So I think I am going to tie this first before I get ahead of myself, because you guys, know I can get distracted very easily. Okay. But yes, obviously you could do this with any embossing folder, right? That you have. I just thought, well, it's one of the ones from Sale-A-Bration, so I might as well try it. So let me get my linen thread under control here a little bit. I do love the fact that it is crazy, right? And another kind of texture. Okay, so I think I'm going to pop this photograph up on a little bit of foam, 3D foam, so that I can tuck some things underneath a little bit easier. Like obviously this is way too long, but we're going to fix that, and I'm probably going to tack it down with some glue dots. Oh, it's so dry here, guys. Whew. So I'm going to use this to set my first photograph. Okay. So this is about where I want to start. So I'm going to add my dimension here. And I have lots of leftover tape. So we're going to use this because it's a little bit faster than adding dimensionals. I'll use dimensionals on my smaller pieces. And so I'm keeping the foam kind of to the middle so I can tuck some things underneath. Okay. This one, we're going to cut some of it off. I don't know if I'm going to actually need it, but we can use it if we need it. Oh, and I have an embellishment. I just have to find it. I picked out an embellishment. It must be in a pile somewhere. I'll just figure out where those are. I grabbed some fun dots. Oh, thank you. Judy is over on YouTube watching. I'm going to just try and make it look like they're not, like, so that they're connected, right? So that touches that. Okay. Then I'll use this frame to start my cluster over here. Okay. And, oh, here it is, my other cactus. That one we're going to add dimension, and this I'm going to tuck in here. This I'm going to add dimension on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to have it bridge over the corner of my photo. That is so strange. I know I have an embellishment. We're going to have to, when we get there, I'm going to have to move all the stuff around on my desk, I think. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive, I think. Yeah, right there. And I'll do a dimensional over here. Trying to leave some room because, like I said, I have some embellishments as soon as we find them that we're going to add. So funny. Okay. Then I move them over here. I'm sure they're literally like right in front of me, so I'm just going to keep looking for them while I work. Maybe they fell underneath my desk. Super strange. Okay, so I want to tuck this piece in to start. And I want to, first I think we're going to get this photograph down. Right about there. This. Okay, so I'm going to be gentle with this little cactus here when I put adhesive on him because he's dainty. Okay, now I can build this little section here, now that I have my photograph there. I just wanted to make sure that we had enough room for our title at the bottom. I'm going to move this up here. Okay, so then we have this for here, this down here. Actually, I'm going to move this up here. So let's add our tag down now. We're way crooked for you guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna though make sure my title is on here straight. My journal, like my box here. Okay, and I'm gonna start, I think, with the bottom. And I did, so I pre-cut up dimensionals. I'm not pushing it down. I'm just setting it into place. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna add some adhesive. And some here on the sun. I have dimensionals backs onto my tape runner. So this is just going to tuck in underneath here. I have the little camera that we'll do dimensionals for. Okay, but we're gonna look. There we go, inside the stamp case. So I knew they were on my desk somewhere, exactly where they were supposed to be, inside the stamp case. Okay, so I grabbed rainbow adhesive back dots. That's what we're going to use to embellish, but I still have a couple of other things here. So as in the ephemera packs, there are hearts, but I wanted something a little more bold. So, and we're not quite finished right here. I still have to add the floral image. But, okay, so of this little camera, we're going to add dimensional onto it. We're going to put the stamp in the stamp case where it belongs. There we go. We have the embossing folder. Okay, but so I wanted to show you, as part of this stamp, you have this super fun heart. So we're going to use that. So I stamped it beforehand in the colors, right? So I have peach pie. I have flamingo, flirty flamingo, a peach pie. I have daffodil delight. I have a few extras too that I have not fussy cut out, but we're going to use these to embellish. And these dots, We have the camera here. Okay, I just need to see if I need anything off of here, and I don't think so, so I'm going to move that out of my way. We need to do just a little bit of reorganization here. So this, right, I stamped those beforehand. I fussy cut them out. Okay, here we go. See, I started moving everything around when I couldn't find that embellishment. So we need the dimensionals. Okay. I am going to put a dimensional on the back of here. And I want something peach pie in here because that's the one color that I don't have down in this cluster. So that up there. I put dimensional on here. So I'm going to add a heart in a few spots here. And I'm going to try and use like the color that I feel is potentially lacking from the cluster. I'm going to put some dimensionals over here. Like that. Okay, so I think up here we need a flirty flamingo one. And over here we'll add a daffodil delight one. And okay. We're in the home stretch here. I am just trying to decide if I'm going to put this in here. And I think I am. So right, this little piece, I'm going to just throw that into the box and I'll be able to use it on a different project. Maybe here. I love that. I love a little scalloped edge. So there. Here we go. So, right, I'm going to throw that back in my box and put it off to the side now. I'm trying to decide. I actually think my stamps over there. I'm going to tie these into a little bow. And I might fuss around with them a little bit more off camera so that they're all like even. I don't want to cut anything off until I know for sure that that's the length I want. But I think I like that. Okay, same thing. I will tack that down eventually when I decide exactly where I want those tails and how long. Okay, so now all I need to do is tuck my little dots in here. I feel though, oh yeah, see, we have some stuff not stuck down up here. So the grateful. And I'll put this on a dimensional. Oh, and this heart. But I'm going to tell you, I need to add another heart because the wonky number of hearts is going to make me crazy. So we're going to add another one. See, because there's 4, and that's the first thing I notice. But so we're going to put another pink one in here. Or a pink one up here, a pink one up there. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so now I am going to add a few dots and then we're done. Okay, so these are Fleur de Flamingo, and I don't actually even know if that what I'm about to say is true. But I feel like these are Peach Pie and these are Daffodil Delight. So those are kind of the 3 that I would stick to for this one, right? So up here, go like that. And like this. And like this. So I'll just add a few of them into each of the little, a sprinkling all over. So there we go. So I think it turned out super cute. So Kim says, this is so cute. I will try my hand at a recreate. Awesome. And like I said, I think it's totally open to anything. So, right, I picked and chose the parts and pieces that I liked about the original piece and then switch things out, right? Like I wanted a bolder title. I wanted to use some different ephemera, I wanted another photograph, right? All of those things. So don't be afraid to kind of play with something and make it your own, even if it's starting off somewhere completely different. Okay, guys, that's what I've got for you today. It did, dude, I'm very happy with how it turned out too. And like I said, I think that the paper can be a little bit overwhelming, right? Because it's bright, but look how much it's not bright anymore. I don't know if that makes sense, but now we've added stuff on it. The paper looks like it totally is purposeful. It's meant to be there. This would also make a very easy double page spread. You're very welcome, Kim. Where you could take, right, the same measurements and mirror image them onto the other side and add more photographs, right? And bring the 2 pages together. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you have an awesome day. And if you want the recipe, like I said, I will be in my newsletter this weekend. So, and if you're interested in any details about any of my new workshops, make sure to stop by my blog at chrisscreativelife.com. And I hope you guys all have an awesome day and enjoy mixing and matching some of the products from Sale-A-Bration with regular products and just have some fun, because that's what it's all about. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.